Good afternoon for all of you. Hope you all can hear me well. ඔයගොල්ලෝ ඔක්කොටම හොඳට මාව ඇහෙනවා කියලා මම හිතනවා. එතකොට ගිය සතියේ අපි කතා කරපු data visualization and management කියලා කියන lecture note එකේම ඉතුරු sections ටික තමයි අද කතා කරන්නේ. I think we stopped from where we talk about few SQL commands and everything, and then I think today we have to start from the roll up, roll down. අන්නේ ඒ හරිය ඉඳන් තමයි අද අපිට session එක conduct කරන්න වෙන්නේ, lecture එක පටන් ගන්න වෙන්නේ. So here yes, recordings අර මං ගාව 3ක් තියෙනවා recordings දාන්න. අද එකත් එක්ක මං හිතන්නේ 4යි. මං ඒ recordings ඔක්කොම අද upload කරනවා. Yes, ඒක අද කරනවා. So here what we have to do for the data visualization and management. So if you can remember the previous ones, we discussed about data types and what are the examples for those data types, and then what are the data models, how we gonna convert this data into images, and what would be the process of that. මේ හැම එකක් ගැනම we have already discussed last week. So now what we have to do, we have to again continue with these ones. So when it comes to visualizations, we have two things to learn. One is roll up and the other one is the drill down. One is roll up, the other one is the drill down. One is roll up, the other one is the drill down. Then what is roll up and what is drill down? What do you know? What do you think about these ones? Quizzes වල marks end semester එකට එකතු වෙනවා. Yes. So for the roll up and drill down, when it comes to roll up and drill down, so let's assume we just wanted to examine the population by the year and age. හිතන්න අපිට මොන හරි පරීක්ෂණයක් කරන්න තියෙනවා population එක ගැන by the year and the age. අවුරුද්දයි වයසයි සම්බන්ධ කරලා අපිට මොකක් හරි population එකක් කරන්න තියෙනවා. So what we have to do, Ehna? So what we have to do? So for this one, Ehna, we just won't roll up the data along the desired dimensions. එතකොට අපි මොකක්ද කරන්න ඕනේ? මේක roll up කරන්න ඕනේ data. Okay, so we have to roll up the data along the desired dimensions. So for example, so let's assume that we just wanted to select the year and the age. හරි අපිට year එකයි age එකයි select කරගන්න ඕනේ with the summation of the people. අපිට summation of the people එකත් එක්ක count එකත් එක්ක let's assume that we just wanted to do the dimensions. We just wanted to select the dimensions with year and the age. From where we are going to take these, from where we are going to select or retrieve all these dimensions, all these measures is from the census. Census කියන table එකෙන් තමයි අපි මෙන්න මේ අපිට අවශ්‍ය dimensions උයි measures උයි ඔක්කොම retrieve කරන්න යන්නේ. එහෙමත් නැත්නම් select කරන්න යන්නේ. And then we are going to group by the year and the age. We are going to group by this information, this data from these two dimensions. From these two dimensions with the year and the age. එතකොට ඔතනදී එහෙනම් roll up කියලා කියන එකකුයි and then we have the roll down. දැන් roll up නම් මොකක්ද වෙන්නේ? So if you want to examine the population by year and age, then we have to use up the roll up. Because we are considering because we have to group all these informations by the provided dimensions, which means the year and the age. Then what we have to do, if it's drill down, hari හිතන්නකෝ අපිට drill down එකක් කරන්න ඕනේ කියලා. Then for example, if we want to see the breakdown by the material status, අපිට material status එකෙන් සම්පූර්ණයෙන් breakdown එකක් කරන්න ඕනේ. Then what we have to use? We have to use the option called the drill down into additional dimensions. Culling, we roll up the data along the desired dimensions. අපිට අවශ්‍ය ඒවා වෙනකන් අපි narrow down කරගෙන ගියා. For this one, අපි drill down කරනවා පල්ලෙහාට until we get those additional informations. Okay. So here we have the select from group by. Again here, age, must, some people, these are the data which we want, and then from the census table and group by year, age, must. Okay, so we are drill downing the additional dimensions. We are drill downing all these data into additional informations. For the previous one, we are rolling up, rolling up. අපි ගොනු කරනවා වගේ case එකක්. Group කරනවා. Okay, so that's what that is the difference in between the drill down as well as the what? Drill down and the roll up. Okay. Okay. Then next what we have to do here, this is kind of an exam. So here what we have to do, may example okay, we have the marital status. We have the marital status, all the marital status and all ages. So this is kind of an example. This is kind of an example for the drill down and the what is the other one? Roll up exercises. Okay. So here we are rolling up, here we are drilling down. Rolling up and the drilling down. So rolling up නම් අපි තව narrow down කරනවා informations. For the drill down නම් අර පල්ලෙහාට තියෙන layers වෙනකන් අපි informations ලොකු කරගන්නවා. That is the difference in between the roll up and the drill down. හරිද? Okay, so let's assume that we just wanted the, okay, so what we have so far is as the original data set, year, age, must, sex and the people. Then next we have age, must, sex, this 1800, here we have like year, we have converted it again as a column name, and we have taken the count of the people. Hi. So what would be the most preferable data, and why? Why? And what is the reason for that one? What do you think? So the best format is the original one, or else the age masked one. This second option. What is your opinion? So here we have the raw data. Here we have kind of summarized data with the age and with the gender, and for each and every year a number of people which belongs to. No information ටිකත් එක්ක තමයි මෙතන තියෙන්නේ. So what would be the best expression, or what would be the best method to show those informations, express those informations? Any idea? No idea. Okay, so here what we have to do. So actually I would prefer the second option. මම හිතන්නේ ගොඩක් වෙලාවට second option එකෙන් තමයි දැන් first option will be uh, kind of the raw data table, but අපිට ඒක තිබ්බා වුණත් we can't provide an information, right? අපිට කිසිම information එකක් provide කරන්න බෑ. Though we have the very first table. හැබැයි if we have the second table, we can provide some insights. හිතන්නකො මෙන්න මේ age between එක අතරේ මෙන්න මේ අවුරුද්දේ මෙන්න මෙහෙම මෙච්චරක count එකක් මිනිස්සු ප්‍රමාණයක් ඉන්නවා. and ඒ මිනිස්සු අතරින් ladiesලා gentsලා මෙච්චරයි, ladiesලා මෙච්චරයි, male මෙච්චරයි, female මෙච්චරයි. ඔය විදිහට අපිට informations දෙන්න නම් ගොඩක් වෙලාවට අපිට ඕන වෙන්නේ මෙන්න මේ second type of information එක. හරිද? So that is it. Is it clear for you all up to this point? What do you think? Any idea? Is it clear? Can manage? Okay. So for the tidy data, this is kind of an data, we can't say theory, but from this tidy data, what we are going to do, we are considering how do rows, columns, and tables match up with the observations, variables, and types. So in here with the tidy data, those days, this in 2014, they have done kind of an research in this university, and they have already researched how do the rows, columns, and the tables match up with the observations, variables, and the data types we have. In tidy data, what they have done, each variable has formed a column. හැම variable එකක්ම ගත්තොත් ඒ හැම එකක්ම column එකක් විදියට represent කරනවා. And for each and every observation, those observation will forms a row. row එකක් කියන්නේ එහෙනම් අපිට එන data observation එකක්. And then we have the third option, which each type of observational unit forms a table. දැන් මොකද වෙන්නේ? එහෙනම් මේ හැම type එකක්ම මේ හැම observational type එකක්ම each type of observational unit forms a table. අපිට මොකද වෙන්නේ? table එකක් තමයි එහෙනම් මේ columns rows එකතු වුණාම we can create or we can draw, we can initiate a data table. Observational unit forms a table. Okay, so the advantage is that this provides a flexible starting point. So the advantage අපිට තියෙන වාසිය මොකක්ද මේකෙන් තියෙන is that this provides a flexible starting point for analysis or else for the transformations අපිට analyze කරනවා නම් analyze කරන්න, data transformation එකක් කරනවා නම් data transformation එකක් කරන්න, data visualize කරනවා නම් data visualize කරන්න. For all these ones, that's what we have to do. So our pivotal table variant was not tidy. This is a variant of normalized forms in database theory, DB theory. Okay, we'll learn those ones in future. Now the common data formats. What are the common data formats? CSV data format. You know, I think you have already used these ones, CSV format. We can save our Excel file as Excel workbook or else a CSV file as well. CSV means the comma separated value. Values ඔක්කොම separate කරලා තියෙන්නේ comma එකකින්. commas වලින්. Okay. And then that is it. Then we have another data format, that is JSON. I don't think, maybe sometimes IT people have applied or used these ones with the JSON one, but other people, they haven't learned. So that's fine. There's nothing much. So another data format file would be JSON. JSON. We read this as JSON, JSON, which represent JavaScript object notation. That's the long-term name for that. Okay, that's all about up to this point. Any questions up to this point? Any questions up to this point? Okay, so those are the two data formats, which, okay, those are the two data formats, um, which you just wanted to know at least. So CSV format is, you all have learned those ones, no? And I think you all have used these ones. So for the JSON nang, if it is not, that's fine. Okay, then the image models. Then let's move to the image models. Image models now, what we have to do, we have to convert this image into pixels. So that's what we do normally in image models. So let's assume we just wanted to visualize this image කියලා. එහෙනම් what we have to do, so visual language is a science system. So this person has initiated a statement that the visual language is a kind of a science system. So there are images perceived as a set of signs, images perceived as a set of signs, sender encodes information in signs, sender encodes information in signs, and receiver decodes information from signs as well. Which means what? Then for each and every visual language, for example, if it's Sinhala, when it comes to languages, we can take those ones as well. But anyway, an image, a video, so visual languages කෙලකුවම ඔය වගේ වනේන්නේ. Okay, so for all these visual language is kind of a science system. Science system එකක් තමයි එතනින් තියෙන්නේ. So for images නම්, images normally perceived as a set of signs. අර අරමුණු ග්‍රහණය කරගන්නවා කියලා කියන්නේ අන්න ඒ වගේ මෙන්න මේ images ගත්තොත් ඒව ඔක්කොම perceived කරගන්නවා set of signs. Then we have the sender encodes information in signs. දැන් මොකද වෙන්නේ? හැබැයි sender ගත්තාම sender encodes, okay, give me 1 minute. So what will happen here for the images perceived as a set of signs? Then sender, what normally sender do? Sender encodes the information in signs. Sender තමයි ඇත්තටම යවන්නේ information එක. And then receiver මොකද කරන්නේ? Receiver ලැබෙන informations ඔක්කොම decode කරනවා from signs. Sender generally encodes information in signs. හරි සයින්ස් වලට ගැලපෙන විදිහට එයා හදලා ඒ අදාළ පණිවිඩය යවනවා. එහෙම නැත්නම් information එක යවනවා and receiver what normally receiver do receiver decodes the information from signs. That's what they do. Okay. Then Bertin's semiology of graphics. Here this is kind of an if I show you, okay, give me 1 minute. If I show you a video. Okay, I'll show you a video in later. So what will happen here for the Bertin's semiology of graphics? So now this is the graphic. Okay, this is the graphic what we have to analyze. And what will happen as the first point we have A, B, C are distinguishable. Okay, these three we can find out separately. These 3 points are distinguishable. And what happened with the B? We know and we can see that point B is in between A and C. Point B is in between A and C. And what will happen with the BC? BC is twice as long as AB. අපිට ඇහැටම පේනවා මෙන්න මේ වගේ distance එක වගේ double වෙලා තියෙනවා මෙතන B ඉඳන් C වෙනකන් distance එක. Okay, these are the inferences or else these are the conclusions what we which we can come up after checking all these graphics. So what will happen? Scan. So what will happen? Because of these three, we encode the quantitative variables. We can encode the quantitative variables because of these ones. See, so we started with these ABC points. ABC points are distinguishable. We can find out separately those 3 points. And B, point B is in between A and C. Point B is in between A and C. And what will happen with the BC? BC is actually twice as long as AB. That's what we have. And then the encode quantitative variables. So resemblance, order, and proportional are the three sign fields in graphics. එහෙනම් මොනවාද තියෙන three sign fields? එකක් resemblance, නැවත සකස් කිරීම, එහෙමත් නැත්නම් order එකකට සකස් කිරීම, පිළිවෙලකට සකස් කිරීම, එහෙමත් නැත්නම් proportional. අර අපි මේකට මේක එකට දෙක නම් මෙතන දෙකට හතරයි. අර ඒ වගේ proportionally අපි ratio එකක් consider කරලා කරනවා නම් ඔන්න ඔය කියන තුන ඇවිල්ලා the three sign fields in the graphics. Okay, that's what we have. See, so this is kind of an example. Less variables, less variables. So here we have points, links, zones, and this is kind of an visual expression that they have given us. So for the visual encoding variables, position, sign, value, text. Okay. What are the visual encoding variables? When it comes to variables, what are the visual encoding variables? If we talk about these visual encoding variables, we have to have a clear idea about the position, about the size, about the value, about the texture, about the color, about the orientation, and about the shape as well. These are kind of few examples for few, not actually the few examples. These are the actual variables for visual encodings. Position, we have to consider the position. We have to consider about the size. We have to consider about the value. We have to consider about the texture. We have to consider about the color. We have to consider about the orientation. And finally, we have to consider about the shape as well, shape of that object as well. Not only that. See, position, length, area, volume, value, texture, and then we have the color, orientation, again shape, transparency, whether this is blur or already focused one. We have more variables which relates to visual encoding. Is it clear up to this point? What do you think? What do you think? Is it okay up to this point? Okay. Then what we have to do? Then we will be moving for the information in hue and value. We are going to talk about the colors. What are the things you know about the colors? Okay. So for the information in hue and value. So what are the things so when it comes to hue and value, these topics are coming with the colors. මේ topics ඔක්කොම කතා කරන්නේ අපි colors එක. hue, value ඒව ඔක්කොම අපි කතා කරන්නේ colours එක. So value is perceived as ordered. Value කියලා කෙනෙක් ගත්තාම ඒක ගොඩක් වෙලාවට ordered වෙනවා. Encode ordinal variables. So here we just encode the ordinal variables. So for example මෙතන black ඉඳන් යද්දි ඒක අර අපි වැඩි කරනවා නම් වැඩි කරගෙන යද්දි එහෙම නැත්නම් අඩු කරනවා නම් අඩු කරගෙන යද්දි it will convert into 0. අර ඔයගොල්ලෝ දන්නවනේ. Have you all seen about the RGB values? Red, green and blue values ඒකේ බලන්න 0 0 0 කියලා දැම්මහම එක color එකක් එනවා. 256 256 256 කියරකවාම තව කලර් එකක් එනවා. එතකොට ඒ entire color palette එක හැදෙන්නේ black to white වෙනකම්. Encode continuous variables. We can encode the continuous මේවා ගත්තාම discrete වගේ. See, we can figure out the point separately. එකින් එක. We have those ones separately. This one is kind of a continuous one. වෙන්වීමක් නෑ අපිට values 1 2 3 4 කියලාවත් මුකුත් කියවන්න ගන්න බෑ. All are together නිකම් bar එකක් වගේ. Hue is normally perceived as unordered. අපි hue කියලා කියන එක ගත්තොත් ඒක unordered. හැබැයි value කියලා කියන එක ගත්තොත් it's kind of an ordered one. But for the hue is an unordered one. So for the hue is normally perceived as unordered. එතකොට encode the nominal variables in using the color. Encode nominal variables in using the color. So best example for the hue is the normally perceived ones. These ones are actually unordered. That is it. Okay. Okay, that's about it. Then for the Bertin's levels of organization, what will happen with the Bertin's levels of organizations? What are the Bertin's levels of organizations? So etanadi what we have to do, we have to apply, we have to check whether so we have already learned these data types, no, nominal, ordinal and the quantitative data types. එතකොට what we can do, we can put these NOQ to these variables. Okay, so that's what here we do with the Bertin's levels of organization. So when it comes to position, all these three matters, but for the size also, all these three matters, value, all these three matters, but for the texture, we are not considering about the quantitative one. For the color, it's only nominal. For the orientation, again, it's a nominal variable. For the shape, again, it's a nominal variable. But if we consider the position, it would be nominal, ordinal, and quantitative as well. All these three are coming under this position. That is how we normally organize all these images with the Bertin's levels. Now we have the deconstructions. Okay, now up to this point, is it clear? Up to this point, is it clear? What do you think? Up to this point, is it clear? Okay, someone has asked that why at some point the letters are small in the diagram. What do you think? What would be the reason? according to the size and everything. If we think about these ones, what would be the reason? Just think, just think and provide me an example. What do you think?